Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is December 8th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see all the cold air spilling across the Pacific Northwest as we speak, keeping some winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings ongoing, some very chilly conditions and slick conditions east of the mountains as well. We'll take a detailed look at that, and then we'll take a look at the extended forecast to see when our next storm systems will arrive. Taking a look here right now, you can see Spokane right now is above freezing, but if I zoom in here, you'll notice Ephrata, Yakima, and places like Ellensburg is at 40, but you can see 36 degrees there at Wenatchee. But look at Ephrata at 28, and you can imagine if I zoom in here in Moses Lake, 33. So there still are some very slick spots out there, and things are going to drop below freezing here as we go through the later evening hours and overnight. And there was freezing rain and light snow and freezing fog and things like that out there. So it's going to get really slick again overnight tonight. And you can see some high wind warnings here across the Rocky Mountains and winter storm warnings still in effect for a lot of the Washington Cascades. Winter weather advisories extend down in towards the Oregon Cascades right now. And you can also see all the shower activity continuing to pour into the region as we go through the day today. But we're going to cut off that precipitation pretty quickly as we go through tonight, and I'll show you that as well. And you can see some pretty strong winds through the day yesterday. Look at all these wind reports out there, some 50s all the way into the mid 60s there across a lot of the Rocky Mountains of Montana, and still some high wind warnings ongoing for those locations. Along the coastline, you can see beach hazard statements for sneaker waves. I would consider that the same all the way through the Washington coast and Vancouver Island. It is that time of year. Do not turn your back on the ocean. There's a pretty good risk for sneaker wave action today. And again, the advisories here go down towards Mount Hood and some of the Oregon Cascades. Here's Washington Cascades. Winter storm warning is still in effect. This goes through this afternoon. We're still getting some decent snowfall amounts up there. Tomorrow is the much better day to travel if you can put things off. So as you can see, 6 to 12 more inches above 3,000 feet, 35 mile per hour gusts there. And so yeah, that goes through this afternoon. And if we take a look at what the Doppler radar, and you can kind of see the blue shows where the snowfall will be as we go through this morning. You see it continuing on for some areas. It's going to be kind of hit and miss. Some places getting more than others, but that's going to continue through this afternoon. But look, as we go through this evening, we cut that off pretty quickly here, and that gets chased off towards the Rocky Mountains as we go towards tomorrow morning. Maybe some residual showers still out there through the early morning hours tomorrow, but then we dry out pretty quickly for Monday, Tuesday, and probably Wednesday as well, at least, before another frontal system tries to arrive into the Pacific Northwest here. Now looking at daily 2-meter minimum temperatures, this is for tomorrow morning. Look at eastern Washington. We're dropping back down to the 20s. That's a hard freeze here, so anything still on the ground, any of that light freezing rain or the snowfall that was ongoing yesterday or freezing fog is going to refreeze for tonight. And tomorrow morning it should be above freezing for a lot of the Puget Sound, but that's going to change, and you can see a little bit of that action getting down towards freezing for some of the Willamette Valley. But look at Tuesday morning, things definitely cooling off a bit more as we get some stagnant wind out here again, a little bit of offshore flow, and we're going to cool things down. We could get some slick spots on Tuesday morning, and maybe again Wednesday morning for the Willamette Valley, Puget Sound trying to warm back up a bit there. And then we change the pattern up, and you can see the warming temperatures at least west of the Cascades. But it takes a lot more to get things above freezing for places east of the Cascades in the overnight hours at this time of year, as you can see. Now looking at the North American model, we've got the westerly winds still going across the region, the Cascades, as we go through this afternoon and evening. But then watch as we go through tonight into tomorrow morning, we turn these winds back offshore again. So you can see the light wind regime out here. It's going to allow us to cool down. I should mention there's going to be some gusty winds going through the Washington-Oregon border there, the Columbia River Gorge, maybe the Vista House blowing pretty good as we go through the day Tuesday. And again, offshore winds before the arrival of our next frontal system. Taking a look at that next frontal system coming up here, we can see the system with us right now, but you see that precipitation really wrapping up as we go through tonight. By Monday morning, just some showers across the Rocky Mountains there. A dry day Monday for much of the region, for Tuesday as well, and then Wednesday, just a very weak system showing up there. Next frontal system looks like it comes in sometime on the day Thursday. It doesn't have much of a punch with that, but we have a stronger storm out across Pacific Ocean here, and I'll show you some of the other models on that here in a moment. The European of last night only goes out 144 hours. So if we look at the artificial intelligence European, there goes our system. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, fairly dry. I had a member asking about travel across southern Oregon on the day Wednesday. It looks really good, and probably most of the day Thursday as well, but then there is a next weak frontal system arriving And the stronger storm, though, gets ramped up here off the coastline. Look at this pressure gradient on the south side of this monster here. And depending on how far north that tracks, the strongest winds are to the south of that. So if the low tracks further north, it's going to include more of the Oregon coast up into southwest Washington. But, showing that right there on Saturday, that's a pretty strong pressure gradient. We'll continue to watch that storm. We have several days to work out those details. And then another deep low out that through the early portion of next week. We'll watch that one here as well. So it looks like we might remain active in towards next week. And if we look at the GFS, hot off the presses, 12Z run. Let me back that up and make sure we have all the most recent data. Put this into motion. Now you can see we're doing pretty good here on Wednesday. By the time we get towards Thursday, you see some precipitation start to arrive here again for portions of Oregon and Washington. And the GFS a little bit better there with some mountain snow on the day Thursday and Thursday night. So you're traveling on Wednesday if you have to. And then it brings a very powerful storm towards the coastline as well. And again, the track of this is going to have huge implications on who gets how much wind. Look at that powerful pressure gradient from Northern California in towards the central Oregon coastline as we go through very late Friday night into Saturday morning. So yeah, we'll have to watch that storm system closely, and we have several days to do so. I wanted to point this out, backcountry avalanche forecast. I did select Snoqualmie Pass, but a lot of the Washington Cascades are under considerable threat, mainly above 4,000 feet. A lot of people, they're down at the pass level here, so the risk is moderate right now. Check that out before you go, especially if you're going off in the backcountry or whatnot, snowmobiling, snowshoeing. The Northwest Avalanche Center is worth its weight in gold. They have great forecast here. They do all kinds of images and whatnot. Look at that forecast discussion, and they give you all kinds of good information. Now, which one do you guys like better here? This is Bellingham. This is 50 perturbed members here for wind speeds. Peak wind gusts, all 50 ensemble members on the left. The control run is at the top. And this is the weather bell. Look at that same thing here for Bellingham. So tell me which one you guys like best. Which one is easier for you to read at home? Leave that in the comments below. Now, looking at the 6 to 10 day, the vast majority of the lower 48 above average chances here. And then we go through the 6 to 10 day. They're kind of picking up on this storm track pointing into the Pacific Northwest. But I looked at some of the extended runs here, and I'll show you more on that here tomorrow because things are just all over the place. And, this is no slam dunk by any means. And 8 to 14 day, look at the entire lower 48 above average chances. And so that above average here for the Pacific Northwest. We'll see how that trends. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. We will check everything again tomorrow. We have a few days before the next system gets in here. But again, watch for the very cold temperatures east of the mountains, refreezing of any moisture that is out there. Still winter storm warnings ongoing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are definitely the better travel days before another weak system Thursday. And then the stronger storm arrives towards the end of the week. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We will do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.